This article is about James Monroe, one of the founding fathers. He became the 5th President of the United States and was born on April 28, 1758, in Westmoreland County, Virginia. At 16, he entered the College of William and Mary, but left to fight in the American Revolution, crossing the Delaware with George Washington for the Battle of Trenton. He suffered a near-fatal wound to the shoulder. Promoted to captain, he took part in the Battle of Brandywine and Germantown, now a major and aide-de-camp to Lord Stirling. He fought at Valley Forge and also scouted for Washington at the Battle of Monmouth. He resigned from the army to study law under Thomas Jefferson before serving as congressman from 1783 to 1786, then retiring to his law practice. In 1794, he became a senator, opposing the government of George Washington. Washington, however, nominated him as minister to France. After Spain returned Louisiana to France in 1800, President Thomas Jefferson sent Monroe to Paris to assist the purchase of territory at the mouth of the Mississippi, including New Orleans. At the same time, Monroe worked securing the territories of East and West Florida from Spain. On April 12th, it was found that Napoleon was willing to dispose of the entire province of Louisiana, and on May 2nd, 1803, they signed the treaty forming the Louisiana Purchase. On April 18th, he is commissioned regular minister to Great Britain. Although a slave owner, he supported the repatriation of freed slaves. Liberia was founded by free slaves, and its capital, Monrovia, was named for him. During his presidency, which ran between 1817 and 1825, Missouri, the first state to emerge from the Louisiana Purchase, was close to being admitted to the Union. Of the 22 states, 11 supported slavery and 11 didn't. To prevent one or the side having their senators, he proposed that the northern part of Massachusetts became a new state, Maine, and he admitted as a non-slave state, while Missouri be admitted as a slave state, so keeping the numbers equal. This became as the Monroe Compromise. In a presidential address on December 2nd, 1823, Monroe presented what was to become known as the Monroe Doctrine. The doctrine is in 4 parts. 1. The U.S. will not interfere in the internal affairs of or wars between European powers. 2. The U.S. recognizes and would not interfere with existing colonies or dependencies in the Western Hemisphere. 3. The Western Hemisphere was closed to future colonialization. And 4. Any attempt by a European power to oppress or control any nation in the Western Hemisphere would be seen as a hostile act against the U.S. Basically, America offered its protection to all countries in the Western Hemisphere from interference by Europe. After retiring from politics, he lived at his Oak Hill estate in Northern Virginia, becoming regent of the University of Virginia, and was called on to amend the state constitution in 1829. Monroe died on the 4th of July, 1831, in New York City, at the home of his daughter Maria. Three of the 5 founding fathers died on the 4th of July. the others being Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, both in 1826.
Right, thank you very much. And that's read really for one reason, well, two reasons really. I took a history group on Monday and we did previous presidents of America. It's to prove that there are some presidents of America who are quite sane. And I'll say no more. Right, now Charlie is going to read something that's going to be in two parts because it's quite long. And it's about transportation of goods and men and things in the First World War. And as we've just celebrated the 100th anniversary of the end of the war, I thought it would be rather fitting, and it's quite an interesting story. So I hope you enjoy it, and this is going to be the first part.